Every business is gonna have tough times. There's ups and downs, sometimes stuff's selling, sometimes not. And it just depends on, what's going on with the economy is kind of what's gonna be going on with your store too. So kind of like right now, it feels like it's a little recession starting. So, sales are down. I mean, everything's gonna change. When we started, we were only doing Magic the Gathering. And now, 11 years later, we've got board games, we're doing video games, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, paints. We had to basically add stuff as we went. And sometimes, we had to operate only online, like during the pandemic. We had to put everything online, and I was doing curbside where I'd take it out to people's cars. We've had a break-in once, and they broke through the front door. They came in and just grabbed stuff out of cases. They really, it was probably $10,000 to $12,000 worth of damages / loss of product. Amazon doesn't have employees or, electricity bill or all that other stuff that are here, on a daily basis. So they're not supporting their local, infrastructure or economy, the local economy either, So a lot of that stuff people don't take into factor when they're doing their shopping, I think part of the reason why we were successful is I started small. I started in a 500 square foot unit and built the business from that. Yeah, the reason why I started, I was working for somebody else, and my son got sick, was in the hospital in a bubble, and when I came back, my daughter got sick, and I let them know, hey, my daughter's sick, I can't, I've got to make sure she doesn't go to the hospital as well. And they fired me, and we were hanging out playing Magic with all my friends, and we were playing Commander and having a good time. And that at that point, I was just like, you know what, guys, I'm going to open up a gaming store because I enjoy it. We didn't have like a ribbon cutting, we didn't advertise a whole lot. We were in the infancy of the whole business and just trying to get it, started and rolling and everything. But it was well received in the community. And I remember plenty of times that we had spillover into the parking lot for events when we were running events over there, because it was, again, 500 square foot. So there was 3 tables in the back. And so when we'd have a pre-release, I'd have to set up 3 or 4 tables in the parking lot, and people would come and they would play in the parking lot at midnight. It was crazy. Yeah, I've known Brian and Diane since I was a teenager. I used to go to their store when I was a kid to buy my comic books and, Magic cards and stuff like that. They send people my way if they don't have what, they're looking for, and somebody comes over here looking for comic books or sports cards, I usually send them over there.
Oh, we've got people who've been shopping here when they were 8 or 9 years old. Now they have kids. Yeah. We have a lot of long-term customers, I've been doing this for a long time. Dove into it here about 40 years ago. We opened this store about 35 years ago. And we've been dealing in comics and collectibles ever since, There's always tough times. Anytime you're self-employed, anytime you're in any kind of business, you're affected by a lot of things. I won't even get into the pandemic. That was a pain, of course. But the '94 baseball strike was really hurt the card shops. In '95, Marvel went bankrupt through different sellouts, and that affected us. There's always ups and downs in this business. The economy, when it went flat in '08, that would affect us too, but we're always affected by the economy. One of the biggest changes in the market has been the fact that more people buy graphic novels now instead of individual comics. Yeah, a lot of readers they want the whole combined story right now, I can't control online shopping. A lot of people like the firsthand, I want to touch it, I want to see it before I buy it. Then again, you get a lot of input when you come into a store like this that you don't get on the internet. But yes, it's the experience to come into a hobby shop. It's kind of like going to collector show or a ball game. It's more fun to be there sometimes and sit at your computer and decide whether you want this or whether you want that, you know.
My name's Bill Martin. I'm the owner of Alvinord Sandwich Shop, 204 University Drive. Been here for 40 years. I bought the business as a used business in August 15th, 1983. It's been growth since day one, since I took it over. The man that started the recipe was named Alvin Ord Johnston. He actually started the recipe for Slotsky's. That family sold out, but then they decided, hey, well, we could start our own business. And they decided to name it after their uncle that started the recipe. Seen a lot of big change come and goes. Jersey Mike's has come and gone. The Herberts and Gerbers, they've gone. Quiznos is gone. Slotsky's has basically left college area. I doubt that this business wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for the college. I mean, it is right across the street. A lot of kids, parents will come here and show their kids, oh, that's where I wrote it when I was going to college. And the college kids, when they visit, they'll come in to see if it's still, their mark is still here. Since I had a stroke in 2021, I've stopped working. I used to bake bread. You know, that's one of our selling points is we bake bread fresh daily from scratch. Because the business people would ask, well, what makes you so successful or something like that? And, the people you hire, they represent you. And it's nice to have that kind of pool to choose from, but that's what really has made this business.
So my name is Ted Graholski. I'm with the Greater San Marcos Partnership. My portion in that position is the workforce development. I think I read an article somewhere that 80% of the small businesses are the ones that drive your economy and for employment. So the Walmarts, the Amazons are always going to be here because of their far reach, their pricing potential. But the small businesses are the ones that maintain most of the hires and most of your local community tax base. It's all about commerce. And so buying local, spending local, you're keeping all those taxes right here in your community. And I think the statistics say if you can make it through your first 5 years, you have a really high success rate, but 5 years is a long time. I had someone tell me a long time ago, even a poor plan, if executed ruthlessly, has a chance for success. Restaurant hospitality was one of the hardest industries hit in the pandemic and the slowest one to come back from the pandemic. Those that did, that offered curbside service, that offered carry out, that didn't before, those companies were able to weather the storm and even increase and kind of prosper. As a consumer, we all know if the price of everything's going up, the price of everything is going up for everyone. Yeah, we're seeing some activity of a recession, but we're not going to be hit as hard. And I'll give you an example. So when I look at 2020 to 2030 employment projections, the U.S. is on a 7.7% projection to increase in employment. The state of Texas is 18.5%. This area between San Antonio and Austin, the innovation corridor that we refer to, we're on a 26%. So we have opportunities to grow, to expand. So if nobody's buying local, nobody's staying local, and nobody's eating out local, the city doesn't have those taxes and those funding to provide those services. And then if they don't have that, guess what happens at the end of the year? Now we start looking at people's property taxes and where can I increase sales tax and property taxes to make up those differences. So we all have a vested interest in buying local, participating local, eating local, staying local, to increase that commerce for our local community. This is what we do. We provide information, raising tides, lift all boats. So all businesses that we work with, we want to see them succeed because their success is our success. Do what you do it really well.
The strong survived, and we've had enough to be the strong.